The air hung heavy with the scent of jasmine and the rhythmic thud of volleyballs. Students in their crisp white and blue uniforms filled the courtyard of the school. This was a typical day at a typical high school in Thailand. But on this day, something was missing. The familiar whistle, sharp and commanding, was silent.
Mr. Suthep, the beloved PE teacher, wouldn't be leading the warm-up exercises. He had collapsed suddenly, a heart attack stealing him away in the prime of his life. Mr. Suthep was more than just a teacher. He was a mentor, a friend, a source of encouragement for every student he met. He believed in pushing them physically and mentally, always with a kind smile and a reassuring pat on the back.
His passing left a void in the schoolyard, a silence that echoed the grief in everyone's hearts. Yet in a final act of generosity that surprised no one who knew him, Mr. Suthep had willed his body to science. He believed in teaching, in giving, even in death. His decision, though unconventional, was a testament to his character, a final lesson in selflessness.
The news of his passing and his wish sent ripples through the school. Students and teachers alike mourned the loss of their cheerful, energetic Mr. Suthep. But his decision to donate his body, while difficult to comprehend, only deepened their respect and admiration for him.
The funeral was unlike any other. There was no casket adorned with flowers, no procession of mourners to a graveyard. Instead, there was a gathering in the school auditorium, filled with the hushed whispers of students and the soft sobs of teachers. Photos of Mr. Suthep, his smile as bright as ever, adorned the stage.
Mr. Suthep's wife, a woman of quiet strength who taught Thai literature at the same school, addressed the gathering. Her voice, though laced with grief, held a note of pride as she spoke of her husband's final wish. She explained that his body, through medical science, would continue to teach, his sacrifice helping to shape future doctors and nurses.
The students listened, their young minds trying to grasp the concept of death and the selfless act their teacher had committed. Some cried openly, others sat in stunned silence. Yet amidst the grief, there was a sense of awe, a recognition of the profound gift their teacher had given. The ceremony ended with a Buddhist prayer, a chant for peace and the transmigration of the soul. The students, teachers, and family members filed past Mr. Suthep's photo, each offering a silent farewell, a promise to keep his memory alive. A year passed. The schoolyard rang once again with the sounds of laughter and the shrill blast of a whistle. A new PE teacher now led the exercises, but Mr. Suthep's memory lingered. His photo still adorned the school's bulletin boards, his name whispered with reverence in the staff room.
One afternoon, Mrs. Suthep, her eyes reflecting a year's worth of quiet grief and acceptance, joined her fellow teachers for tea. The conversation, as it often did, turned to her late husband. With a sad smile, she shared a story that had traveled from the university's medical school to her, a story that sent chills down everyone's spines.
She spoke of the medical students who were studying anatomy, the students who had been assigned Mr. Suthep's body for their practical lessons. She spoke of how, according to the rumors circulating in the university, these students had been visited by Mr. Suthep in their dreams. The teachers leaned closer, their tea forgotten, as Mrs. Suthep recounted the unbelievable tale. The medical students were on edge. Their anatomy exams were fast approaching and the pressure was immense. They had been diligently studying Mr. Suthep's body, memorizing every muscle, every organ, every intricate detail of the human form.
One particular night, they studied late into the night, their textbooks illuminated by the harsh glare of the library lamps. That night, each of the students had the same dream.
They dreamt of Mr. Suthep, his familiar smile both comforting and unsettling, standing at the foot of their beds. He didn't speak, but his presence was enough to jolt them awake, a sense of urgency clinging to them.
They couldn't shake off the feeling that they were needed urgently at the anatomy lab.